Oh, Mr. Sun, Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, please shine down on me. Oh, Mr. Sun, Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, hiding behind that tree. These little children are asking you to please come out so they can play with you. Oh, Mr. Sun, Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, please shine down on me. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I'm Justina and I am so glad to have you back here with me celebrating the beautiful Midsummer Solstice. I actually made a video on this a few years ago. I did a vlog about it, so I really wanted to do another vlog about it because this is one of my favorite Sabbats on the wheel of the year. I also have a video reviewing this cute little book right here. This is the book for Midsummer by Llewellyn, and this is all about rituals, recipes, and lores for Litha. Now, in my vlog a couple years ago, I did a couple little activities and projects from this book, which you could see in my vlog from, I think it was 2017. You can see that right over here in the info cards, and I will also link it down below. I made it a point to really hone in on some of the celebrations done in this book. I also did some stuff for the Strawberry Moon. I have a whole Strawberry Moon playlist over here, and I also have a vlog that I am currently editing that I celebrated this past year. So that was a lot of fun because I got to host my very first full moon tea party. So I was really excited to meet my first $10 tier patron on there. So she was the kickoff to the whole tea party. In this Litha vlog, I have some very fun activities planned. I got these sunflowers a couple weeks ago and I really wanted to get them in the ground. Me and my husband Avi, we spent the better part of a couple weeks tearing out a whole bunch of English ivy that the previous owner of this house planted along the whole side of the driveway. And I was thinking, you know, this is the only patch of full sun that we really get, so let's make better use of it. Let's rip out the English ivy, which it's not really conducive to any sort of agriculture or anything. So I thought it would be better to rip that out and replace it with stuff we could actually use and eat. I definitely wanted to plant some sunflowers there, which you can harvest the seeds. And also I wanted to plant some pumpkins, which has been my dream ever since before we got a house. I said whenever we get a house, I want to plant pumpkins. So we're gonna plant our pumpkins. We bought a couple of pumpkin plants yesterday, bought a zucchini plant and a butternut squash plant. So we have space all along the driveway and it gets full sun, which is great because that's what those plants need. You can hear Coraline crying for me. We've got some butternut squash, we got some zucchini, we got some pumpkins. I have some sunflowers here. These are a little small. I'm not sure if these grow like those really big stalks do. I think they grow more like a bush. I'm really not sure, but anyway, these are helianthus sunflowers, so I definitely want to plant those at some point today. I wanted to do it a little bit earlier, but it was really hot out there. That patch gets full sun, so I think I might do it toward dusk. By the way, yesterday was the solstice. Today is after the solstice, so the solstice is the longest day of the year. According to this book, Midsummer, also known as the summer solstice, also known as Litha on the Pagan Wheel of the year, is the longest day of the year and the shortest night. The sun has reached its zenith and is at the height of its power magically as well. After today, the days will grow imperceptibly shorter, moving us into the dark half of the year. At the winter solstice, the entire process reverses and we will move again toward the light of midsummer. So in the northern hemisphere, the solstice falls around June 21st, and that was yesterday. I don't know about you guys, but I like to celebrate the whole month of June is midsummer to me. And then when you move toward July or the end of July, early August, then you get into Lammas, and then we'll get into that into another vlog. Maybe I'll do a Lammas vlog this year. So for this vlog, I really wanted to get these in the ground when it gets a little cooler later, because right now it's really hot out there. But I do have some other projects that that I really wanted to do with you guys today. I have some sun plaques for the garden. The previous owner left them here, so I was really excited that they came with the house. They were really dirty, so Avi power washed them a couple months back to prepare them for me to spray paint them. So I got some really pretty yellow and copper spray paint, so I'm gonna spray paint those. And also a big thing about Sabbats and celebrations for the Sabbat is a lot of baking and cooking, so I'm gonna do that today. There's a lot of great recipes in this cute little book. Also, there's a shortbread cookie recipe in here, which I had my eye on especially. This is a rosemary shortbread cookie recipe, but I think I'm going to do a lavender one to mix in with the actual shortbread batter. But on the top, I was thinking of putting some pansies from my garden. I also did a vlog on planting pansies, which you could see over here as well. My pansies have been thriving. Not so much on the hot days. They've had days where they look really withered and dying, and then they bounce back as long as I water them that night. They don't really like the heat too much, so they're a lot better in the cooler weather, but my pansies nonetheless have been thriving. Pansies last pretty much all season long as you take good care of them, water them, give them love. You could also cook with pansies. Pansies are a great flower for harvesting and using in your baking, and they're a great magical flower as well. Apparently pansies, they bring on the rain. When you pick a pansy, it's supposed to bring on rain. I thought it would be a great tool to keep my garden watered and healthy throughout the rest of the hot summer. If you pick a pansy and use it on a shortbread cookie, when you eat it, you could set the intention that you want to bring rain to your crops and your plants and have a healthy, thriving garden. So I'm gonna try to cook with some pansies today. I've never eaten a pansy, but I guess there's a first time for everything. Last night, for the actual solstice, aka Father's Day, it was also Father's Day yesterday, I actually created a Book of Shadows page for my $1 and up patrons, and I also created a Book of Shadows page for the Strawberry Moon for my $10 tier patrons for participating in the tea party thing. So I really want to make it a point to create a Book of Shadows page or a grimoire page every time a Sabbat or Esbat rolls around in celebration. So this way I could kind of just like build up my Book of Shadows gradually and have a nice magical space for all of my magical workings and recipes and things that I find, correspondences, all that cool stuff. I have a space for all that, and I have a book made up of that, and you could see my Book of Shadows right over here. I did a video on that a few years back as well. It's not the best quality, not the best sound, so I apologize for that, but I do want to do some Book of Shadows update videos very soon, especially if I'm going to be printing out Book of Shadows pages more frequently. Yeah, I've been designing it on the computer, and then I print it out, and then I could just paste it right in. And you guys could do the same thing. If you are a $1 or up patron, you can just get these Book of Shadows pages. As long as Sabbath rolls around, I'm going to be creating these pages. You could get them right on my Patreon page. You could print out the PDF and just paste it in your Book of Shadows, or punch holes in it, put it in a 3-ring binder. Whatever your Book of Shadows or grimoire is, you can use it at your leisure. So I thought that would be a fun way to encourage you guys, my patrons and my viewers, to get into the spirit of the season and the celebrations of the earth a little more. It's just a nice way to keep up with your studies, and it's creative, and you know, I know not everybody has the time to be sitting there cutting things, drawing things, gluing things. So if I can create a page for you readily made that you can just pop in your book, then I've done my job. That's all I wanted to do for you guys as a thank you for watching my videos and supporting my work. It's just a nice little thing I could give back to you. I mean, these pages are relatively simple to make. They're just very time consuming, so it did take me quite a few hours last night to get my Litha page all designed and posted, aside from all that stuff. So I guess the first thing that I'll do, since I have my spray paints ready, I guess I'll spray paint my suns right now. So let's go spray paint some suns. Owner of this house left for us, and I thought they were so cute, but they need a little facelift, no pun intended. So I got some spray paint, and I'm going to spray paint the middle, I think maybe yellow, and then I'm going to do a gradient toward the outside and the outside's gonna be more of a copper. We'll see how this comes out. It is really hot out here. So I have my spray paint here. Let's get started. So I finished the first coat, which was the yellow spray paint on my sun plaques here. Now I'm gonna let those dry. I think I'm gonna go make a little bit of a snack while I'm waiting for those to dry, and then we will do our copper gradient on the outside rays of the sun once that's dry. These are gonna look so cool. I am planning on putting them in front of the sunflowers when I plant them in the front later on when it gets a little bit cooler. But anyway, let's go make an orange salad because it is really hot and I could use something refreshing. So let's go make some snacks. Look at these little egg that flowers, they're so cute. And my Gerber daisies came back beautifully, I must say. Hi, boobies! Are you staying cool in here? Because mommy's hot outside. It's hot out there. Yeah. Oh, you want belly rubs? You want belly rubs? Oh, here's your belly rubs. Yum, 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 yum. If you've been on my channel for a while, you've probably remembered my witching kitchen segments where I show you a magical recipe. I used to live in my parents' house, so this used to be done in their kitchen, and they have a really beautiful finished up kitchen. My kitchen is a little more modest on the other hand. It's just a very small room, but it works. This is my new little setup station here. I'm using my ring light that my husband got me for Christmas a few years back. This has been coming in very handy when I'm trying to do my cooking videos and stuff, and this is great because it has a phone attachment as well as a light, so it's great for my overhead shots so I don't have to hold the camera anymore. Right now we're gonna make an orange salad recipe courtesy of my father, and I think I'm gonna put this one in my book of shadows because this is just too good to pass up in the summer heat. I'm waiting for my sons to dry outside, so now we're just gonna make a little bit of a snack and I will show you how to make this. You will need 2 oranges, pine nuts, extra virgin olive oil, and sea salt and crushed black pepper. And one last magical herbal touch that I'm going to make that I don't usually put in, but we have it in the garden now, so I'm not gonna not use it. Let's go get some mint. 1 sprig should be okay. All right, and some mint. And don't forget your plate. So I have found that a serrated edge works best to cut your orange. First, we are going to cut our oranges into slices. Next, you are going to need a smaller paring knife to cut away the rind following the curve of your orange slice. Be very careful not to cut your fingers. As you cut the rind off of each orange slice, plate it and make it look presentable. Next, add your sea salt. Now add your crushed black pepper. Drizzle on your extra virgin olive oil and garnish with your fresh garden mint. Don't don't forget to add your pine nuts for some extra nutty crunch. So another thing that we're growing in our garden is this lemon balm right here, and I've never actually tried this in a salad or anything for that matter, but I heard that this is great in fruit salads, so and it's magical as well. And here are some of the magical properties that it has. So yeah, lemon balm is a great addition to add to your fruit salads. Salad is all done, and I know you're probably thinking, well, what are you going to do with all these orange peels, Justina? Well, you can actually save all these orange peels and use them in an offering or a potpourri or an incense in your altar space. You could string these up and hang them around your altar. They smell great. They're just very nice and citrusy and summery. So now that I'm done with my yummy summery fruit salad, we're going to go outside and eat this, and I will explain to you a little more about this salad. So this is my new favorite soda. My mother brought this over yesterday, and I am obsessed. Hey guys, so here's my orange salad. It's snack time, and I also have my cucumber mint sparkling water right here. And one thing that I really love to do to add a little essence and flavor to any kind of water, mostly sparkling because you can make your own soda and it's a lot healthier than the store-bought stuff with all that crap in it. I like to use my doTERRA essential oils. The citrus flavors are great to add in any kind of sparkling soda or carbonated water. This one is lime. They also make lemon, they make grapefruit. Bergamot, I think, is another citrus one. There's a bunch of citrus oils that doTERRA offers that you can add to your flavored water, and it tastes amazing. So I usually do a drop or two. 1, 2. And then just mix it on up. So that's cucumber, mint, and lime soda. So let's dig into our salad here. This salad my dad made a lot for me growing up, and it's probably one of my favorite summertime salads. And citrus is a great thing to incorporate into your solstice celebrations. This might seem a little weird. Oranges with salt, pepper, olive oil, not your typical things you would associate with citrus, but it goes so good together. And it's so refreshing, especially on a hot summer day like today. If I can explain how this tastes, you get the sweet, and then the salt and pepper add a little bit of a savory twist to it, and the olive oil adds just that like fatty richness, and then the pinoli nut, or pine nuts, adds a little bit of a nutty crunch. So it's a nice, beautiful combination to cool you off and tickle your taste buds on a nice hot summer day. I've never tried lemon balm before, so let's give this a try. Let's see. All right, so this is lemon balm right here, so I'm going to put it on a piece. And I have the mint. The mint and the lemon balm just give it a fresh garden flavor. That's it, guys. This is your Sicilian orange salad, and I will leave the recipe for this in the description down below. I will also post this recipe on my bohemianmagicstudios.com blog, so definitely check that out. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, the pepper gives it a little spicy kick, so that's nice as well. So it's just a very flavorful dish in general, just to devour right now, and it's the perfect afternoon snack. I'm not sure if you guys would be interested in a cookbook, but I've been wanting to make one for the longest time. It's just a lot of work, but I'm dying to make a cookbook with all my recipes that I learned along the way growing up, passed down from family. It's just one of my favorite things about summer, just cooking and being out in the garden. So yeah, that's basically it. So I'm gonna finish my salad here, and then I'm going to finish spray painting the copper around my garden sun plaques. take a moment and talk a little bit about divination for the Midsummer Solstice. Now this right here is the Sun Tarot card of the Rider-Waite Tarot deck, one of my favorite tarot cards. It just radiates so much warmth and good positive vibes, and it just gets me in the mood and so creative to get stuff done and knock some projects out of the way that I've been holding off for a really long time. Production is a big theme of the summer solstice. Putting those thoughts that you germinate over the whole course of the winter, where you're a little more dormant and a little more internal. The solstice gives you a chance to bring all of those ideas to the surface. Feel yourself bubbling by the time spring comes, and then once it gets gorgeous out, you want to get out and get all those things done before you have to turn in for the colder season again. Now, what is divination? Spells are a way of setting our intentions or requests out into the universe, and divination can be used to take in information from sources outside of ourselves. Personally, my favorite method of divination is the tarot, because I'm a very visual person and I like to look at the images, and there's so much information on the cards. So here's actually a tarot sun spread, and I actually gave away a couple of these readings on my Instagram page a couple years back. It's a really gorgeous spread you could do to celebrate the solstice. I did this reading actually for my mom in her garden a couple years ago, and I never posted it, so I think I'm gonna post it on my Patreon page for my $5 and up patrons. So it'll be a little bonus video because it's like never before seen footage. Here is the sun card right here. It's by the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. Obviously the sun card is represented by the element of fire. Every card is ruled by a planet. Obviously the sun is ruled by the sun. And some keywords that you can keep in mind when pulling the sun card are attainment, glory, majesty, celebrity, eminence. I also like to think of warmth, positivity, radiance, optimism. I'm a Sagittarius, also fire sign, so I think the two naturally go hand in hand together, and I just feel like I relate to the sun card so much. And also there is a little bit of childlike innocence on a horse riding through sunflower fields and carefree and uninhibited sky-clad nature of this being right here. He's naked. He's just riding through a field, not giving a shit. It's just that childlike, optimistic, carefree, DGAF nature. Another quality of the fire sign is that they get shit done. They don't sit around twiddling their thumbs. If they want to get stuff done, they're gonna get stuff done. The sun is that get things done kind of nature. So it's better when I have something in front of me so I can give you more streamlined information instead of just jumbling the thoughts that come out of my Sagittarius ADD mouth. The theme of the sun card is success and glory, attainment and accomplishment. In particular, the Seeker is the Fool, the very first card of the tarot. It's card 0. It has not attained anything yet. The Seeker is just a being about to set off on a magical journey of self-discovery and personal development. So when you hear the Seeker, that usually means the Fool, and the Fool goes through all the cards in the major arcana. Ultimately, at the end of the major arcana, the last card is the World, and the World represents that attainment. Now, the Sun card is a little more toward the end of the major arcana. So it's the sun, and then it's judgment, and then it's the world. So the sun is very close to that personal attainment. In the beginning of the major arcana, the Fool might be a little more introverted, a little more inexperienced, lacking in self-confidence. So I think getting toward the end of the major arcana and getting closer to full attainment, which is the world, I think the closer you get to that, the more self-confident you're gonna get, and I think the sun radiates all that confidence. When we reverse the sun card, when we see the sun reversed in a reading, and I don't often use reversals, if it is reversed, then I know that something's up. The traditional meaning of the sun in reverse is a warning that an asset or property that the seeker cherishes may be lost. The sun in reverse could also indicate untapped potential for incredible glory and accomplishment. So if you are kind of procrastinating, but you have all these projects waiting to be done, and you're doing a personal development spread for yourself, and you see the sun in reverse, maybe that means you need to get on your shit, get that stuff done. I guess when you get the sun in reverse, it's also like burnout. Maybe it's telling you that you need to relax and recharge, because when we use up all that energy, we tend to run ourselves into the ground, and that could also manifest in physical ways. The last solstice vlog that I did, I ran myself into the ground. I did all these projects, bang, 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 rushed to get it out, and then like the weekend after, I came down with a cold. Sun reverse could also mean that you need to regain that momentum, restore that energy for the enthusiasm about the things that you love to do. So the sun card in reverse indicates a seeker who has strong potential for fire energies or possess latent fire energies that have not been fully charged or activated. This segment was originally 17 minutes long. I had to cut about 11 minutes or this video would have been way too long. If you would like to see all of this information in its entirety, I will be making it available to my $5 and up tiered patrons. We are actually going to head back out into the garden and finish spray painting the suns now because it's getting a little late, so let's get back outside. Alright guys, so we are back outside and my suns seem to be pretty dry for the most part, so I am going to go ahead and I'm going to try to do a gradient around the edges with this copper spray paint. We'll see how this goes. Okay guys, so these are pretty much done being spray painted. I'm just going to let them dry and then later on, after I plant my sunflowers, I can put them in the garden. So right now, I think I'm going to actually do some baking. We're gonna make our lavender pansy shortbread cookies. Okay guys, so it's around 4 p.m. I have a couple hours before my husband gets home. So right now, I think I want to bake some shortbread cookies and I'm going to do them with the edible pansy flower topping. The recipe that I will be using today will be in this cute little book, and this is the rosemary shortbread cookie recipe. However, instead of rosemary, I think I'm going to use lavender instead, and I'm also going to top it with the pansy flowers. So I also found another recipe on this website called sugarandcharm.com, which I thought was really cute. This is what the pansy flowers look like on top of the shortbread cookies. They just look so cute. So I really wanted to try my hand at this myself. I just so happened to have planted some pansies in my front yard and they have just been flourishing since I planted them. So I want to put them to some use because they do have some magical properties. The recipe that I'm going to use is going to kind of be a hybrid between this recipe on Sugar and Charm as well as the recipe that you see in here. So it only calls for a few ingredients, which are butter, sugar, flour, and then whatever topping or whatever you're gonna put on it. And then the topping for the flowers here, they call for meringue powder. I don't have meringue powder. And it also calls for powdered sugar. And then you're supposed to like mix those together with a little bit of water to make a paste so you can glue your flowers on like that. So I guess this will just be trial and error. So I'm gonna go get some pansies from my front yard and I'm gonna bring you guys along with me. And I'm going to use this handy dandy tool right here, which I call the snippety bippets, because it's really small and you just use it to kind of like snip the little heads off of flowers or whatever. So let's go snippety bips some pansies, guys. Oh look, I found a little mushroom growing in my pansies. Snippety bipped about about 12 flowers, and I kind of tried to get a good variety of purple, yellow, and also the white purple ones, which are really pretty. So these are gonna look gorgeous. I can't wait to make cookies with these, and hopefully they taste okay. They're magical flowers, and apparently they're very edible. My flowers, they are on my baking sheet right here, and I'm going to put a heavy book on top of them. Oh, I have an idea. I'm going to use my handy dandy book of shadows here. This is pretty heavy, and hopefully in an hour these flowers should be nice and flattened. Okay, so now that our flowers are being pressed, we are going to work on baking the shortbread. You are going to need 3 sticks of room temperature unsalted butter, 1 1/4 cup of confectionery or powdered sugar, 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a pinch of orange zest. I'm using the leftover rinds from the orange salad I made earlier, and 1 teaspoon of culinary lavender buds. Now we are ready to start combining all of our ingredients. First, add your 3 sticks of unsalted room temperature butter to your standing mixer. Whip them in your mixer at a medium to high setting until it is smooth. Now gradually add in your confectionery sugar a little at a time and mix on a low setting until it is all combined. Add your 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract, and now your 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Add your orange zest, and your 1 teaspoon of culinary lavender buds. Now gradually add in your 3 cups of all-purpose flour until the batter is all combined. Looks pretty much incorporated, but I just wanted to add a little bit of an extra little touch of flavor, which is the wild orange oil from doTERRA. I'm gonna put this in my dough. I did put some actual orange zest in here, but I just tasted the dough and you can't really taste it that much, so I'm gonna add a little more essence with this right here. So I only used about 3 drops. You don't want to use too much because you don't want it to overpower your dough. That's better. So my cookie dough is all done and mixed, and I'm going to wrap this and put it in the fridge for about 30 minutes until it's hard enough to work with a rolling pin. And then we're going to cut up these cookies and then throw them in the oven. Taking a little bit of a break to let my dough harden in the fridge. So I have this satin clear enamel stuff that I'm going to actually spray over my sons to protect them from weather. And I must say, I love how these came out. They came out so good. It's about 7:45 p.m. The sun is starting to go down, so I'm gonna get outside and my my husband's home now, so we're gonna plant some sunflowers. We actually bought some potted ones which have smaller heads. Those are gonna go in the front, and then I'm gonna try to germinate some seeds in dirt. Never done it before, but we're gonna see if this works. Found this video to hopefully help me out, so I will link that in the description down below.
Time of year when things are growing wild, love's found underneath the stars. The kids are playing in the backyard now, catching fireflies in a jar. And I am sitting on my back porch, and I'm wondering where you are.
Alright, so we just planted our seeds and hopefully those germinate, and now we're going to plant our potted sunflowers.
Yeah. Summertime, I go back there in my mind, guessing underneath the moonlight, discovering things we thought we'd never find. When I was yours, baby, you were mine. Summertime, oh, summertime.
Little wee pumpkin is a jack-o'-lantern. I have about a little palmful of sunflower seeds left over, so we're just going to scatter them and see if we have any luck with them.
Summertime, I go back there in my mind, kissing underneath the moonlight, discovering things we thought we'd never find. I was yours, baby, you were mine. Oh, summertime.
So now our dough is ready to roll out. Don't forget to flour your surface and your rolling pin. And with clean hands, work your dough until it is soft enough to roll out with your rolling pin. Roll out until it is about 1/4 of an inch in thickness. Now you can get creative and cut a variety of different shapes into your dough with your cookie cutters. Place them on the baking sheet lined with parchment paper. So we're going to pop these in the oven at 350 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. Last night you guys saw me finishing up baking my shortbread cookies. Today we're going to ice them and place the flowers on them. My pansies are still pressed under that book. Still stuck to the paper. Before starting, it's important to note to make sure your flowers have not been sprayed with pesticides before using them for culinary purposes. So we have our frosting and our flowers. Let's try this. So I'm just gonna, you just want a very thin layer. You don't want it to soak up your flour, you just want it to stick to the top. Alright, so let's try a yellow one because it's like the sunshine, right? So now I have a little sieve, and I'm going to fill this with some powdered sugar, and then we're just going to lightly dust the top of our cookie here. How beautiful! I think for the next batch, I'm going to try to add the powdered sugar first and then the flour on top of the powdered sugar. I think the powdered sugar ruins the pop of the bright flour. I think I will do that for the rest. Powdered sugar first and then flour. So you can see I have 3 variations here, so now I'm just going to do the rest and plate them all, and then I will show you how they all look when they're done. So my shortbread cookies are all finished, and I am going to try one. I'm not sure how this is going to taste. I do have my handy dandy cucumber mint sparkling water here in case I need to wash it down should it be that inedible. These flowers are actually edible, so I'm going to try one out. Before I do try one, I do want to talk a little bit about pansies. Now this is the Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs by Scott Cunningham, and I bought this book a very long time ago at a little new age witchy shop in New Hope, Pennsylvania. This has a whole bunch of different herbs and things you can do with herbs, like puppets, sachets, how to enchant herbs, how to make incense or a bath, ointments, oils, and different spells and things that you can do with said magical herbs. The one herb that I wanted to talk today, obviously, is the pansy. It's all alphabetical. Here it is. All of these herbs in this book, they are categorized. They give you the folk name, and pansy has many folk names, including bird's eye, which is interesting because I wrote a song once called Bird's Eye View. Garden violet, there's one called Kiss Me at the Garden Gate, Tiddle My Fancy, Love Lies Bleeding, Loving Idol, Meet Me in the Entry, Johnny Jumpers, Johnny Jump Ups, Bouncing Bat, Bonewort, a whole bunch of different ones, and they're really cute. I guess that has been what they've been called throughout history from time to time. It does tell you the gender and the planet and the element and the powers that it has, and also the magical uses. The gender of the pansy is feminine. The planet that is ruled by is Saturn. Element is water, which makes sense because in the next part it says the powers that it has is love, rain magic, and love divination. As far as rain magic goes, it says here pansies are said to have brought rain to very hot temperatures and gardens that need to thrive more during the hot summer months. Magical uses, it's worn or carried. The pansy draws love. It is also potent for love divination. You should plant pansies in the shape of a heart, and if they prosper, so too will your love. A woman whose sailor love goes to sea can ensure that he thinks of her by burying sea sand in the pansy bed and watering the flowers before sunrise. If pansies are picked when dew is still on them, it will soon rain. These are great to do some rain magic if your garden needs some thriving, some water and love during the hot summer months. So I thought those were some interesting tidbits in this little book. So yeah, I love this book and I love reading about all the different little herbs and stuff, and it's a lot of fun. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to try one of these pansy cookies right here. You can also use these cookies as like an intention. When you eat it, kind of set the intention that your garden will be prosperous and abundant and thriving and not have to go through a drought all summer long, and it's definitely inspiration to keep your plants healthy. So when you eat this cookie, just think about the intention that you want to set. Think about your garden thriving and not going through a drought, giving your garden all the abundant love and care that it needs to survive the very hot summer months. So that is what I'm going to set the intention of when I eat this little cookie here. Here we go. Happy summer solstice to everybody. Happy Litha solstice blessings, you guys. Cheers. So the cookies themselves, delicious, very sweet. The lavender, you get little hints of it. It's not overly bearing, so that's great. But this is nice, this is subtle. It didn't use that much. It's just enough to give you a little hint of flavor. And I also put some orange peel in here as well. As far as the pansy on top, I did take a little bite. Didn't taste it. Let me taste. It's not overly flowery, barely notice it. Very subtle. These are delicious, you guys, and I definitely recommend you to try these for the summer solstice or any other time of the year. If you have pansies in your garden, these are a great little magical herb to infuse into your magical baking and cooking, especially for summertime. It's just a lot of fun and they look gorgeous, and they're probably great to bring to any kind of picnic or party. They're adorable. So that is it, you guys. I guess I'll end this vlog here. I hope you enjoyed spending this vlog with me and just having some summer fun with me. I hope you all have a lovely midsummer, and the rest of your summer, enjoy it because it always seems to go by so fast. And that's it. Blessings, blessed be. Love you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Be sure to check out bohemianmagicstudios.com for more tips and tricks on how to live a magical life, and check out all of the recipes that you see in this video. And just a reminder that I will be making some Book of Shadows pages for my $1 and up patrons. Definitely check my Patreon page out if you want to get in on all the exclusive goodies that I do not post in this video or in the links down below, including my homemade Midsummer Solstice loose incense recipe and prayer to Mother Gaia incantation. One other thing is that in July, we will be having our second ever full moon tea party for my $10 and up tier patrons. So definitely get in on that if you would like to join us for some full moon magic for the month of July. So that is it, you guys. I will be posting these to my Instagram page, so follow me at Bohemian Magic Studios. And if you decide to make these cute little rain magic cookies right here, definitely tag me in your posts and I would love to see your creations. So thank you so much. Love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Thank you so much to my patrons Megan Baker, Dee Carubia, Michelle Zeman, Rachel Carter, and Alyssa Wilson for making these videos possible. If you would like to help support me on my creative journey, you can visit patreon.com/bohemianmagicstudios. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you soon.